Rasko Militic says Christian evangelical hate Jews. They don't hate Jews, but they love Israel. You're right that they love Israel. You're wrong that they hate Jews. I can tell you right now, as someone who has personally been around Christian Zionists for most of my life, I can tell you right now, they don't hate Jews. You have Jews who come along and they'll say, well, you know, those Christians, they're actually secret anti-Semites, you see. They claim to love the Jewish people, but they're just using us. They want us to convert to Christianity. They really hate us. I can tell you right now for a fact, as someone who's been around Zionists and Jews and Christian Zionists for most of my life, I can tell you right now that is not true. Because they worship Jews. They straight up worship Jews. They do. They worship them. They see a Jew, they will kiss the ground that a Jew pisses on. That's how horrible it is. I've seen this too many times in my life. To say that, oh, they actually secretly hate Jews. That's nonsense. They worship Jews. Oh, the Jewish people. The Jewish people. The Jewish people. Oh, the Jewish people. The Jewish people. And then I started hanging out with Zionists. Real Zionists. Jewish Zionists. Not Christian. Started hanging out with them. You know what I found out about them? A lot of them are scoundrels. A lot of them are scoundrels, exploiters, thieves. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can tell you guys stories. What are your thoughts on Biden withholding arms? I thought about this a little bit. I heard that Biden is withholding precision missiles from being sold to the Israelis. You know what's so crazy is that you're better off just giving the Israelis precision missiles. Because if you give Israelis precision missiles, then they can precisely aim at terrorists, right? And that could maybe prevent more civilian deaths. So if you give them imprecise missiles, then Israel can just hit the buildings and then a bunch of people will die. And they'll say, well, you're not giving us the choice. We don't have the precise missiles. We have the imprecise ones. We have no choice but to slaughter civilians. So I think America is just giving them the excuse to just kill civilians. And then they can say, well, who cares, right? Ironic how evangelicals hate their Catholic brethren more than Jews. That is true. Oh, yeah, that's true, 100%. They worship Jews and they hate Catholics. They do. Can you do your best Israeli accent? I'll try. Have you read the Torah? Have you read the Torah? You have not read the Torah yet? You don't know the Torah. You claim to believe in Jesus as Messiah, but you don't know the Torah. The Torah. You guys don't believe in the Torah. Yeah, they're exploiters. A lot of them are exploiters. They're liars. They're thieves. They're vicious people in real life. I'm telling you, they're all about money. It's all about money with these people. Let me tell you, it's all about the American greenback. All about money. Has nothing to do with truth. Nothing to do with morals. Nothing to do with... And listen, I haven't drunk any alcohol today. This is me sober. You know that joke that people say, please don't bring up politics in the family dinner, and it's like one drink in, I'm, quoting Alex Jones. I haven't had one drink. This is me sober, everybody. They love money, these people. Money, 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 money. It's all it is, money. Holocaust history. Let's talk about Israel. It's all money. A lot of it is money, guys. There were these group of Mexicans that I was working with. And they were fighting the cartels. They were doing activism work, and some of them were actually getting into gun battles with the cartels. Hardcore, like getting into gun battles. They were defending their farms, they were defending their towns against the Mexican drug cartel. So in Mexico, they got a big problem with cartels. Big problem over there. And there are people in Mexico who are fed up with it. And they have been fed up with it for a long time. And they were fighting the cartels. They were doing activism work. They were doing media work against the cartels. They were really, really putting a lot of effort. And putting their lives on the line, by the way. They were straight up putting their lives on the line, fighting the cartels. So there was this guy that I interviewed, and he said, my brother and I are both part of a group of people called autodefensas. Autodefensa is Spanish for self-defense. That's what it means. Autodefensa means self-defense. So they were part of basically a village self-defense group fighting against cartels. What the cartels were doing was they would go into villages. What these satanic, evil people were doing is they would go into villages, they would go to farmers, and they would say, okay, your farm is officially on my property, on the property that is controlled by the cartel, and now you owe us money. So if you don't give us a certain percentage of your profits, you're going to be in trouble. I mean, and this is not like Italian mafia. Like, hey, you owe up, man. We're going to give you some time. Like these are not, they're nothing like Italian mafia. Italian mafia are saints in comparison to the Mexican cartels. Okay, Italian mafia, at least they had some Catholic values. Mexican cartels, they're Satanists. There's no Catholicism here. They're all just Satanists. They worship the devil. And there was this story that I read, and this is a story that really, really grabbed my heart. There was a story that I read about this story where a woman, her father was an avocado farmer. Cartel guys go to the farm and they say, okay, you're an avocado farmer. A big part of the Mexican economy, by the way, is agriculture. So they sell a lot of avocados, mangoes, limes, corn. All right, it's a big part of their economy. A lot of the fruits that we get in America actually come from Mexico, limes, avocados. A lot of the stuff comes from Mexico, Central America, etc. And this farmer, he was an avocado farmer, and the cartel guys came over and they said, "Listen, your farmland is in our territory, so you have to owe us. You owe us a percentage of all your avocado sales." He couldn't pay it. He couldn't keep paying them the money. He has to pay a tax to the government. He's got to pay a tax to the cartel. You see how it works? So he said, "Listen, guys, I'm so drained. I can't pay you right now." So do you know what the cartel guys did? They kidnapped the man's daughter. And they said, if you don't give us the money that... Now we're going to ask you for all this money, right? They gave him this big price. They said, if you don't give us this money, you're not going to see your daughter. This guy sold his house. He gave up all of his money to save his daughter. He gave all the money, and he says, God have mercy. Oh my God. I'm going to lose my mind I'm just going to keep going. Okay. We're going to keep going. We're going to tell this story. He says, here's the money. Cartel guy says, here's your daughter. Gives him a black bag. Yeah. And you know what was in that bag? It was his daughter in pieces. So this is the kind of shit that people had to deal with. And they're still dealing with this shit. People got fed up with it, and they started to kill the cartels. And the people who were killing the cartels were called autodefensas. And they're still around, I think. So I got in contact with a representative of the autodefensas. He was a local Mexican activist, and he connected me with other autodefensas. And I interviewed them. I even made a little documentary about the autodefensas. It's called Hell Across the Border. It's still on YouTube. You can watch it, called Hell Across the Border. So I started talking with this guy who was an autodefensa, and I interviewed him, and I also interviewed his brother. One day I was in the airport. I was flying from a different state, heading back home, and I get a text from my autodefensa friend, and he said, they murdered this man's brother. So I interviewed the two autodefensas, and I got news that the two brothers, I got news that they murdered one of the brothers. And I looked at the local Mexican news, and I found a number of articles on this murder. What happened was there was a rumor that went around saying that the local priest had been kidnapped in the village. So the local village watch got together and they said, let's go find the priest because he may have been kidnapped by the cartel. So they went out. They were driving around and they broke off into different groups. They broke off. They separated, and they tried to cover as much ground as possible. And this man's brother was in his pickup truck, and he was driving around the town at night looking for this priest. Well, it turned out that the priest had never been kidnapped. It was a false rumor. The brother, while he was in his pickup truck, got ambushed. They filled his truck full of bullets, murdered him, and then set the whole car on fire. And I think they burned his body with the vehicle as well. Story was not a lie. I found the story in local Mexican media. And I saw the picture of the car, what was left of the pickup truck. You could see the bullet holes. You could see the damage from the fire. This story was real. And I was very upset by it. I called up my friend who's a representative for the auto defenses, and I said, well, let's do something about this. And I said, let's help the man who was murdered, let's help his wife. Because these people are very poor. So I contacted his brother, and I said, could you help me help your sister-in-law, your brother's widow? He said, let me see what I can do. So we brainstormed what we could do for them, and we thought, let's open up a store. Let's open up a store. Let's give these people some money, invest in them. Well, not really invest, but let's donate money to them so that we can open up a small little market for this man's widow, and that way she can support herself. Because at that point, because her husband was dead, her husband had passed away, was murdered, she had been pretty desperate financially. I think she was also petitioning the government for some kind of a pension, and nothing was really working. And do you know what really convinced me that these people were not full of shit? Is when I said, we can help you. We can give you guys money so you can open up a business. They didn't say, oh, here's my bank account number. Here's my account number. Wire the money to me. Here's my name. Here's all the information. Wire to me. I'll pick it up tomorrow. That's not what this guy did. This guy, even though his brother was murdered, he said, let me see what I can do first. He said, let me go to the government. Let me see if I can get a pension for my sister-in-law. Let me go to all the resources that are potential, right? That are possible before I take money from you. And instead of saying, F you, I'm trying to help you out and you're going to go off to the government, I thought, you know what? This is a trustworthy man, because he didn't say, give me money now. He didn't do that bullshit. He said, give me some time. Let me see if I can help my sister-in-law first, and I'll get back to you on that. I said, okay. So eventually he got back to me and he said, we've exhausted all the possibilities, and I think that we should move forward and help my sister-in-law. I said, okay, fine. So let's open up this store. He says, and we said, give us a budget. Go to your sister-in-law, go to your brother's widow, talk it over with her, and see what type of items would sell good in a store in your area. How much that would cost? How much would it cost to open up a store? How much would it cost to buy all the products that you would sell, right? So give us a budget. And he says, I will get back to you on the budget. Now, in our organization, there was a hardcore Zionist. I'm not going to give out names, but there was a Zionist. He was Jewish, all right? And he was in the meeting, and we said, okay, he's going to get back to us, and we're going to help him. And this person said, yes, we'll help him. We all agreed that we would help this man's brother's widow. We made this agreement. Okay. Do you know how long it took this man to get back to us for a budget? It took exactly 1 year. Exactly 1 year for him to get back to us. And that's what increased my trust in him. Because I said, this guy's not coming to me saying, okay, here's the budget. He didn't come to me a day later. He didn't even come to me a week or a month later. He came to me a year later to say, here's the budget that we came up with. He didn't say, here's the budget. We need this much money, and we need $20,000, $30,000, and here's my account number. Wire the money to this account. I'll pick it up from the bank tomorrow. That's not what he did. He said, he came back a year later, and he said, we came up with a budget. Here it is. And do you know how much money he was asking for? He wasn't asking for $10,000. He didn't ask for 20,000. He didn't ask for 30,000. He didn't ask for 15,000. He asked for $5,000. $5,000. That's how much he asked for. So that's a reasonable amount of money. $5,000. That's reasonable. So we got together, and the Jewish Zionist in the group, we contacted him and we said, okay, this man has come back to us a year later. We agreed that we would help his sister-in-law. We agreed that we would help his brother's widow. And he's asking for $5,000. You know what this person said? I kid you not. You know what this person said? He said, I propose that we give her a loan. Now, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Yeah, a lot of money. And then he said, let's just give her a loan. And I said, what do you mean give her a loan? Well, we can cut the payment in half. We give her half now, half later. Then we can give it to her as a loan. I kid you not. He could pay us back in small payments. And I'm thinking, this is not a bank. This is charity. This is a donation. We're helping this person. You want to give this person a loan? We can give her money. You can give her as a loan. And that conversation ended, and my father and I felt so angry. Our blood was boiling. My blood was boiling. This woman, her husband was murdered in cold blood. It's not like her husband was murdered because he was a scoundrel. He was murdered because he was a part of a group of people literally fighting the cartels, putting their lives on the line to fight Satanists. He was ambushed looking for a priest that he thought may have been kidnapped. Ambushed, filled with bullets, and his corpse was set to flames, was set ablaze. And he wants to give the wife a loan. So I keep telling people, a lot of these Zionist Jews, a lot of these people, these Jewish people, a lot of them are all about money, guys. It's money, 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 money. So I talked to my father about it. We talked for hours after, and I said, there's no fucking way we're going to give this person a loan. I will not stand for this. You will not catch me dead giving a person a loan, let alone someone whose husband was murdered fighting the cartels. I get angry just thinking about it. So the next morning, first thing, I don't think I even slept. I don't think I slept. Honest to God, I think I probably got like an hour, a couple hours of sleep or something. I just was so fucking angry. People have no idea. As soon as the sun rose up, I went to my father. I said, let's call this piece of shit up. We called him up, and my father said, there will be no loan given to this woman. And we will give the money. Exactly. No questions asked. That's it. I have to meditate for a second here because I'm about to lose my fucking mind. Oh my God. You know what this person said? You know what this person said? He said, well, the reason why I said we should give her a loan is because you know those people in Mexico? They can't even read. So how can we trust her with a business? I kid you not, hand on the Bible. That's what this person said. I was like, oh my God. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. We said the loan, the money will be given. No fucking questions. That's it. He said, okay, fine. So we got the money, wired it to Mexico, called the brother up, and we said, The money has been wired to your account. Let us know how it works. And give us updates on the business. Okay. Gracias. Oh, God, I get so mad thinking about it, guys. I get so fucking mad. I get so enraged thinking about this story. I was thinking about it last night, and my blood was boiling. I have, like, trauma from this story. Serious trauma. You have trauma. I got to get the music up because I hate even thinking about this. But I have to tell you that story just so that you can see why I say the things that I say. Do you see what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. I've been in the circles. I've been in the circles of these people. I know how. I'm not saying they're all that way. I got to pre-qualify everything nowadays, but there's just a lot of evil that goes on in this whole thing. A lot of evil. I'm not going to give names, but there's a lot of evil that goes on, and it's just evil. It is so fucking evil.